What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. Today on the table, we have another KeyForge Ascension tournament video for you. This time, we are kicking off the Vault Tour from Origins Game Fair 2019 that was held in Columbus, Ohio. On the left, we have Rick. On the right, we have Ben. Ben is representing Team SAS, as you see from his keys there, his red, yellow, and blue keys on his lower side of his mat there. He's also promoting luxury playstyle tokens. I told him I'd throw a link in the description below if you're interested in those beautiful shiny tokens you see in there in the bottom right. They are a sponsor of Team SAS. And there was a few Team SAS members in attendance. You guys will see them in this video series as they were playing. And this is day 1B, the Saturday of the tournament. Day 1A, I played in it. So did my wife, so we decided not to record and try to play in the tournament at the same time. But we did film a couple games per round of day 1B, and we got some finals, or some day 2 games from the cut coming up on the channel. So make sure you subscribe and hit that alarm bell button. So we see Rick dropping a Yerk there as the first player, going first, dropping a Throwing Stars as the discard off Yerk's ability. On the other side, a great start with Ember Imp and Schuler, forcing Rick to either deal with Ember Imp or only play 2 cards. And he's going to go dis anyway and Gongoozle the Ember Imp, which destroys him, gains him an Amber. And he throws down a Gub and gives Gub 2 neighbors there, so Gub does have +5 power and taunt. And the Ember Imp there, forcing creatures to be stunned when they reap. That's on both sides. If you guys are looking for the other Vault Tour videos or anything from this weekend that we covered for KeyForge, you can check that out. It's all going to be in a playlist at Rob's Gaming Table on YouTube. You'll see the KeyForge at Origins 2019 playlist. Just go in there. You'll see all the videos if you're watching this in the future. After I've posted a few more, I guess. And if you want to support the channel and see more KeyForge, hit that like button on these KeyForge videos. Helps other people find them and help spread the love there. So looks like he's using +1 power counters to signify Gub's extra strength. You don't need to do that. It doesn't say on the card to add +1 power counters, but Rick does it anyway. And a quick destruction there of the Amber Imp, using Gongoozle on the other side, gaining an Amber for Ben, and returning Gub to his 1 power self. And we got a Schuler Reap there, getting 2 Amber now for Ben. And the Onyx Knight dropping in and destroying all odd-powered creatures, destroying Schuler and Gub, who are a 5 and a 1. So at the time of this recording, I do have Rick's deck list. I will put the link in the description below, so if you guys are interested in what's in Rick's deck. I don't believe Ben has scanned his in, so I'm kind of going by the seat of my pants here. So I don't have his whole deck list in front of me, so I'm not sure. I might have a little trouble with some of the cards he plays since I'm not familiar with every single card in Age of Ascension yet. But I'll try my best here to figure it out as we go. So we have there a ZYX Researcher, or ZYX Researcher. And that is the Logos creature, that comes into play. Archive the top card of your deck, or the top card of your discard pile. And we got standardized testing, destroying the highest powered creatures and the lowest powered creatures in play. So it wipes the whole board. Since it was 1 was the lowest, 4 was the highest, 4 destroying both Onyx Knight and Schuler. I think it was Schuler. Either way, Pip's in there now. He has the creatures, if they reap, if your opponent's creatures reap, they are stunned. And it looks like that's it. Now we got Tremor coming in on the other side. Brobnar, of course, stunning Pip. He's going to discard a Coward's End, so no destruction there, no chains. And then we see a little Rapskull coming into play, and then he discards Flex, since it doesn't do anything for him there. You have to exhaust a Brobnar creature and get Amber, which he doesn't have any Brobnar creatures to exhaust. But little Rapskull, he is elusive. He's a rare, or uncommon actually, a goblin. Creatures must fight when used if able. And that affects both players. So that's basically Brobnar's anti-reap little weenie creature. It's 2 power. And we got Logos being named here by Rick. He's unstunning Pip. Now, interesting, Rick's deck does have double Professor Sutterkin, so if he gets some creature down, he has a double Pip, double Helper Bot. He also has that research here. He has a Research Samoko as another creature, so if he gets Professor Sutterkins down, maybe we'll see some of that draw power go into effect there if Ben just doesn't destroy them first. I think that was it there for Logos, so not that exciting of a turn. Not sure why you would name Logos there. I don't know what he's up to. Why he only unstunned a creature and moved on. Curious what's in his archives there. I didn't see if he took the top card of his discard pile or his deck, but the other side we got Shadows going. We got Ronnie Wrist Clocks coming in, stealing 1. He would steal 2 if there was 7 or more Amber on Rick's side, but there is not. Oubliette, purging Pip. And next we got Merkins coming. He's going to play the top card of the deck or the discard pile. So is Gub that was archived, so he actually played the archived card and got a Gub there. He's just 1 power right now since he's on the flank, doesn't have 2 neighbors. But it's kind of funny. And we know Ben does have Dis, so he'll be able to use Gub by just naming Dis, which is one of his 3 houses. He doesn't have to, you know, name a 4th house to use him, which is nice. So Rick has nothing in place. He's going to throw down a Eureka as an alpha to gain him 3 Amber. And then he'll have to discard, or sorry, archive 2 cards at random. Looks like he's sorting through his cards here. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. He's going to shuffle it up here and have Ben choose. And he's picked the 2 that are archived. And are they the cards that Rick wanted to play this turn? That's the fun. And it looks like they may have been. as he just draws up and passes. That, I mean, 3 Ember and playing 1 card is not bad, but... And I guess archiving a couple cards for the future. I mean, it's not the worst turn ever, but Rick has had a couple low-powered turns here, I would say. If you guys do notice anything rules mistake-wise or any strategy tips or any constructive criticism, feel free to leave the comments below. Just be nice. We'll be thankful these players played on camera for us. But we can use this as a learning opportunity to learn from mistakes people are making, especially with the new Age of Ascension set. So if you're newer to this card game or newer to this set, feel free to look in the comments below. Hopefully some people left some corrections down there if there are any, or some strategy tips that may have changed the outcome of the game. You can all use this as a learning tool. So Ben's going to call the weak just for the Amber. There's no opponent's creature to destroy. He's reaping with Gub, but he should not be allowed to with Little Rapskull. Little Rapskull says creatures must fight when used, if able. Oh, if able. I get it. I get it. They are not able to fight. There is no creature to fight. So he actually does get around it. That is pretty cool. He throws down an Ember Imp, forcing only 2 cards to be played while that Ember Imp's out there. We know him from Age of Ascension. Or, sorry, Call the Archons, the first set. And then we have a Blood Shard Imp that after a creature reaps, it gets sacrificed. And now Gub gets the bump, +5 and taunt. And it looks like Ben has thrown a +1 power counter on him there just to remind us that he does have that +5 power. So we got a Sucker Punch here, which is an alpha out of Shadows, gains an Amber. Gets to deal 2 damage to a creature, which he does to the Ember Imp. If it destroys him, he'll get to archive Sucker Punch, which he does. Now he's 3 cards in the archives, it looks like. So Dust Chronicle is going to play that gain an Amber off it. Let me see. This says play if your opponent has more Amber than you, draw a card. If you have more Amber than your opponent, archive a card. So he has 5 to 6, so he definitely has less. So he just gets to draw. And I said it in the last video that I posted from the Sealed Survival, but I just want to say thank you to everyone that came up and said hi at Origins. All the fans of the channel, also the new fans of the channel that asked where these videos would be and subscribed and that. I appreciate it. It was fun seeing everybody, and everyone was super friendly, super nice. Cascade people were great. Fantasy Flight Games people were great. It was good to see all the players playing KeyForge. Tons of side events. Lots of players playing the Vault Tour. It was a good time. Hoping to go to Gen Con to do the same. There's a Sealed Vault Tour there and a Archon Vault Tour there. Maybe I'll play in both. We'll see if I can make it. And my wife wants to come along too to help me with the filming and getting you guys some content and stuff. So I guess I should probably mention the Patreon, which is in the link in the description below. The link is there to go to Patreon. If you'd like to support the channel, help us improve the equipment, get to more tournaments, get you guys some more content, that kind of stuff, you can do so there. And thanks to everybody who supports the channel. So we got Yahtzee Gang on the other side. KnifeForge just plays there to gain Amber. We see a 1-2 punch come in and stun the Yahtzee Gang. 1-2 punch come in and take him out. And another 1-2 punch just being played for the Amber. So that's 3 Amber right there. 3 1-2 punches in Ben's deck. And he's going to discard the Champions Challenge. Doesn't want to wipe his own board. Down to 1 guy. And he does a Reap with the little Rapskull, which will be sacrificed due to the Blood Shard Imp. And then drops down a copy of Bingle Bang Bang. Who has that before fight? He'll deal 5 damage to each neighbors before the fight there of the creature that he's fighting. But unless Rick can keep a board, I don't see much fighting happening. So we're tied at 1 key apiece now. No Amber on Rick's side. 4 Amber on Ben's side on the right there. And we got the Sting played. We know this card. Basically, while that's sitting out there, Rick is unable to forge a key. He'll just be collecting Amber from his opponent as he forges keys, and then he can sacrifice it later on a Shadow's turn. And then start forging keys, hopefully. Throws down a Bren the Fanatic, who gave his opponent an Amber when he plays him, but when he's destroyed, he steals 3 Amber, and we know Yahtzee Gang 5 power and action steal 1. So it looks like a dis turn from Ben. He's going to Reap with the Blood Shard Imp, sacrificing him, of course. Gub's going to come for the Reap. He wants to sacrifice the Blood Shard Imp first before he starts sacrificing the rest of his board. We see Yurk coming into play, and that's going to force him to discard a card, which he discards. What is that artifact there? That is the Flamethrower action. Deal 1 damage to a creature with 1 splash. The artifact out of Brobnar. So back over to Rick. He's going to check his archives here. I think before naming his house. Wants to decide which house to go here. He's looking to capitalize off that Sting. And hopefully collect all the Amber from Ben. And we got a Swindle turn. Alpha Omega just ends the turn. That's the only card he plays. Gets to steal 3. He has no end of turn effects to trigger after that. So that's going to be it. So it sounds like Ben's going Shadows. Does a couple Reaps there with Merkins and Ronnie Risk Clocks. Trying to get back up to that key. Plays Hidden Stash, gains an Amber, gets to archive a card. So he also has a Lash of Broken Dreams now down there now on his artifacts. So that could be trouble for Rick here. Both players still at 1 key each. See a card get archived there. Puts it under the identity card, which is normally the spot for purge cards, but I'm assuming that's where he's putting his archives. Looks like he's debating switching that archived card. And he does. Alright, so we got Furtive Investors. Just playing for the Amber. Since his opponent does not have more Amber, he won't be able to gain Amber for each key he has. And he throws down Redlock, I guess, who is a Skirmish, and then has that end of turn ability. If you haven't played any creatures this turn, you gain an Amber. So Ben is now in check with 8. Passes over to Rick, who has 4 Amber. He's going to check his archives. And he's going to take his archives. I think he's going shadows here. He's going to play the Sucker Punch. Gets an amber from that. Now, he put it in his discard right away, but if it does destroy a creature, he'll get to archive it. So he does do Bingo Bang Bang, so he should get to archive it. But, yeah, it looks like his opponent Ben does remind him, which is the right thing to do. So he chooses to Reap with Ben the Fanatic. I'm going to use his skirmish ability there and done a fight just to get a red lock off the board maybe. And then he steals with the Yahtzee Gang's action ability, bringing Ben down to 7 amber. And I believe they're tied on amber now, 7 apiece, 1 key each. And a Gamgee into play. He's elusive, has that Reap ability. If your opponent has more amber than you, you'll get to steal 1. And he's playing Life for a Life. Gets an amber off it. Gets a sacrifice. Bren the Fanatic stealing 3. Might be a little early for that, but he'll get to kill a creature on the other side since he's dealing 6 damage. Take out anyone he wants. Could take out the Gub, which I think that's what he did. Yep, he did. So his own Gub goes away, who did have Taunt at the time and 6 power, so not a bad way to get rid of him, I guess. And it looks like Rick is sitting at, I'm going to say 10 amber there. And now Ben is only down to 4. I don't know if he went too aggressive there. He's not able to forge a key. So he's now sitting on that pile of amber with the Sting out. So that's that could be a problem if his opponent's playing too much to protect. I might have waited on that. Maybe captured. I would have gone maybe Shadows next turn. Let Ben forge. Capture his amber. He played another house. And then gone Shadows crazy there. On the same turn, I'm going to pop the Sting. But he's playing risky here. Let's see if it burns him or not. Technically, Rick's ahead now. He did pop the Sting there, though. He's choosing not to capitalize off it, actually. So it's out of play. So you can start forging. He's going back the classic route. So basically all Sting did there was give him an amber. Which, I mean, it's not bad. Sting can lose you games if you play it incorrectly. It's definitely a risky card. Alright, we got a Sucker Punch from the other side. He's going Shadows, playing the Alpha here. Should get an amber off that. He's going to punch Gamgee. He's thinking of doing the Yahtzee Gang, but he wants to keep recurring Sucker Punch. So that goes to the archive. And he's going to play Nerve Blast, which lets him steal 1, deals 2 damage to the Yahtzee Gang. And puts Ben in check with 6. And we got Red Clock doing a finishing hit there with Skirmish, destroying Yahtzee Gang. And the 2 Reaps, one with Merkins, one with Ronnie Wrist Clocks. And a second Ronnie Wrist Clocks coming in, stealing 2 because Rick is sitting at more than 7 or more. So now we have a Forge from Rick here, going to his second key. So he is ahead of Ben here by a turn. Ben is at check with 10. And assuming since Rick played all those Shadows cards, he probably isn't sitting on a bunch of Shadows cards to do some more steal to get Ben off a key. Does he have another way to get him off a key here using Dis maybe? Maybe you could do some kind of craziness with some Helper Bot action, playing something out of faction. He does not look to have, what is that card? If they have 8 or more, steal 2. Cutthroat Research, I think is what I'm thinking of. Rick on the left here does not have that in his logo suite. So we're not going to see him play some of that, steal some Amber, and then help her bot into something else that steals. He does have Binate Rupture, which has not come into play yet. Obviously, you have to find the right time to play that. He does not have a way of stealing all the rest I don't see in his deck, so you'd have to be in a situation where his opponent's at like nothing or 1 or 2 or something, and he's at a bunch, and he just doubles it all for everybody and hopes it benefits him more than his opponent. An interesting card also in Rick's deck on the left there in his Disc Suite. He does have a Poltergeist, so he would have been able to use that, I'm sure, in some games to get rid of that Sting when he needed to, not on a Shadows turn. So that's kind of interesting. So it was nice when you have an out for those kind of artifacts. All right, we got some Discs here. Dust Imp and Spider. And Spider does have the Skirmish keyword. Also has gains poison while attacking an enemy flank creature. Looks like Rick's debating on something else here. Let's play those 2 Disc creatures. Not sure if he wants to keep going. He does have Charette in his deck, but it's not going to be enough to get his opponent off of a key, though. Does have a couple of Yerks. No, he's got Exhume. Exhume is great when you have Bren the Fanatic, bringing him back into play as a Disc creature, played from hand. I mean, if you have Ronnie Wristclocks in there too, that's always great. Which he does not. Yeah, he's looking at Bren the Fanatic now here, which makes sense. I think that's a good pull. He has no way of destroying him right now, but I mean, if he does have a way to destroy in the future... Trying to see here. He does not have a board wipe and Disc that I see. But as creatures die, Dust Imp's getting him 2 Amber. Bren the Fanatic would steal 3. So that could be turned into a big swing. And he is going to play Bren the Fanatic. And Ancient Yerk. Oh, which makes him basically discard the rest of his hand there. Discards a Pip and acknowledges power. And he gets to drop a full hand. He does have Gongoozle in the deck, as we saw earlier. If he can get back around to that, he can deal 3 damage to Bren the Fanatic, destroying it. So Ben forges his second key, so we're at 2 keys apiece. But Ben is ahead with 5 Amber. Rick on the left there only has 3 Amber. I think Ben just should name Shadows here. Probably just go crazy with the dudes on the board and just reap. You can get 4 Amber just from what we see there, which could put him far enough ahead that that Rick can't deal with it. We know he does have Sucker Punch in his archives, so he's going to take his archives here. I think he's naming Shadows. And the Sucker Punch gives him an Amber 2, destroys Spider, and gets to archive that back. And there's those 4 Reaps I talked about. He's just going to shoot up an Amber, go up to 10 again. Says he knows his opponent had no way to get him off of 10 last turn. Well, he's actually at 11. No, he's at 10. He's at 10. His opponent had not enough cards to get him off of 10 last turn. So I'm sure Ben is betting that he doesn't again this turn. And he's going to actually go up another Amber, play Life for Life. He's going to sack Yerk to destroy Ancient Yerk off the Life for Life. Going up to 11, and he passes over to Rick here. Did Rick draw into anything that can get his opponent off of a key and also gain him enough Amber to maybe be in check himself? But I don't think he'll be able to survive 2 turns if he can't get himself in a check. Let's see what he's got here. He's going to assess his hand. He's got a card in the archives, which I believe is Sucker Punch still. He has enough to steal 3 with Bren the Fanatic, assuming he can get him out of play. You can't just fight with him to destroy him. He does have Skirmish, so he doesn't take damage back when fighting. And I don't see any hazardous creatures across the board that can deal 3 on a hazardous that he can run into instead. We know we've already seen his Gongoozle. He has 2 life for lives, but I'm not sure if he's played them both already. But he does have 2. He's going to go Shadows, gain an Amber. He's going to Sucker Punch. Has to be an enemy creature. He can't do it to his own Dust Imp, which is kind of sad, but he's going to destroy Ronnie Risk Locks. So he does get to Archive, Sucker Punch. And he's going to Reap off Bren the Fanatic. He's going to play a... There's that second life for life. Gets an Amber off it. And Ronnie is dead. And so is Bren the Fanatic. And he does steal 3 off of that. Oh, he actually chooses to kill Redlock instead of Ronnie Risk Locks. And Rick has shot up pretty high. 8 Amber here he's got now. But that's going to be it. He doesn't have enough to steal. He's just playing it out. Just making sure he didn't miss anything. Congrats to Ben on that win. Thanks to both players for playing on camera. Thanks to you guys for watching. And like I said, subscribe. Hit that like button. If you'd like to donate to support the channel like these awesome people have, you can click the link in the description below. Every little bit helps. But either way, like I said, we have lots of KeyForge coming up on the channel. Filmed a ton of games from this Vault Tour. And hoping to get more from Gen Con. So stick around the channel, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.